Today is June 4th, 2025. It is 9:58 a.m. Central Standard Time, and today I'm going to do the topic God in the center to enter, devil in the middle to do evil. So, how I came up with that topic is because the illustration I have in front of you that you're seeing, is a man and a woman laying in the bed. But you see, it's distance, between them. And sometimes we allow ourselves, which is the inner me of our fears or our insecurities, or we just don't know what our partner is kind of going through. So we will be silent, to give them space, for them to, recollect themselves. And sometimes we don't know how to express what's going on within us. So then we may let the enemy come in to cause division and strife when it's for the man to be the husband and the woman to be a wife. So I'm just going to be just transparent. I'm not yet married as of yet, but I believe that I will. And I have allowed my bed to be occupied by counterfeits. And I'm being transparent. So I allowed the enemy of different men at the time in my past to lay in the bed, with me, and I know that was wrong. I know that what I wasn't doing was right, by shacking or by, laying with a man that's not my husband. But when you know better, you do better. But, I guess when two people are married, that I could assume it's going to be times that the woman shuts down, or maybe the man, may shut down, because, men and women are different. And it's about, communication. It's about understanding. It's about prayer. It's about two coming together as one. So I know when men, from my experience, when they shut down, they don't want to talk. And then we women, we get kind of frustrated to be like, okay, he's not talking to me, and I'm probably being this nagging wife, blah blah blah, or whatever, to get up and up. But in that meantime, take it to God in prayer. Pray for him when he get in them silent, moments, and then when he do come to speak, listen, to understand. And I'm still learning, through my journey, but right now I'm preparing. But I know it's not until the real deal comes, and I have to really, take that journey with my potential husband, whoever or whomever, that is. So I'm just kind of learning, like, what can I learn now? In the present time, so I could apply that, into my marriage life. So, like I said, we let the devil, to come in, in the middle to break us, apart when we should be growing, together. We have to speak the word, the spoken word, which is the Bible, which Bible is the acronym for basic instructions before living earth. And we cannot let that enemy, break us apart when we should, rebuild, and to be able to build, God's, kingdom. Because I believe marriage is ministry. It's just not just a piece of paper. It's just not for the marriage, and, oh, I got married. Ooh, I feel like marriage is about putting God in that center, for him to enter in, to work on that man, for him to work on that woman. And like I said earlier, for two to become one to whatever their purpose is. That woman may have a purpose and have gifts, and he may have a purpose and gift, and that man's, help meet, and that man is that, provider. So I have seen on social media how a man and woman, they was like actually on their knees along the bedside praying. Like he was kind of like behind her, kind of like in a cuddle position, and he was like, praying for his, for his spouse. And God is the head, and then it's the man, then it's the woman, then it's the, it's the children, and a man have to submit before God, and we women, submit, a husband, not boyfriend, but a husband. So, but yeah, but I kind of just wanted to go ahead and just touch base, on that, and even when you're in the bed, sometimes them unspoken words, even though he's like unspoken right now and may not be very talkative because of whatever he's going through, but sometimes it's them unspoken words, to pray for that man, or to kind of put your hand on the top of his head to the soles of his feet, and or lay your hand on his heart, and just just intercede, and just pray for him. And God will, I believe, give you instruction, of how to go about, instructions for your husband, and the same thing with husbands, to give instructions, for your wife, because sometimes she just want to be seen, and she just want to be heard. She go through things as well. So men, we have to be able to be there, for our woman as a covering, to make her, feel safe, instead of, feeling, endangered, and being a stranger, in our bed. But, I think it's a scripture, and I'm not sure what it is, but I'm trying to see. I actually can kind of maybe Google it right quick, but I believe it was saying something like, I guess the enemy, coming, between, that man and woman. I think it's the bed that's undefiled. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just go ahead, type that right quick, and just kind of read it to kind of see what that says. Okay, it says Hebrews 13:4, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. So what I get out of it, because Hebrews, or I think I heard that before, like Hebrews, or I'm a manipulator of words in a good way, and so sometimes you have to let it brew, like coffee or tea, but in that marriage bed, we can't let the enemy, the come together to drift us apart. That's the time in the marriage bed, for us to come together as one to come against the enemy. Because like I said, he don't like marriage. And he gonna bring that division and strife between that man and woman when it's for us to come together to be able to come against that problem, or come against the lies of the enemy, and not come against each other, but to come towards God, to each other. So, it's like like a triangle. God is in the center, man to the left, woman to the right. And the more we get closer to God, the more we get closer, to our spouse. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. This is Christmas Speaks, Living Life Lessons, Spoken Word, Many Stories, Many Ministries Incorporated. Peace and blessings.